I want to give you my opinion about the performance of Remnant 2. And this is coming from someone who really likes these kinds of games. I beat Remnant from the ashes, and I'm definitely going to play and beat this game. So because I want to play it, I want to actually enjoy my time with this game, I would like this game to look and perform well. And it doesn't, okay? For some reason, these developers, and I'm not talking about Remnant 2 specifically, I'm talking about the entire industry. It seems like most developers have the opinion that quality of the pixels is more important than quantity of the pixels. So what I'm talking about here is very simple. They believe that having a tree that is 10 miles away moving and animating is important. It is actually more important that you really enjoying your game and firing to an enemy that is 5-10 meters away. Okay, so they are willing to sacrifice 30, 40, 50 frames per second just to have small details like this on the screen. And they are wrong. Okay, that is not better. I'm sorry. This basically, the performance of this game is the kind of performance that I should be getting at native 4K. So when I open the game, by default, because I have an NVIDIA GPU, by default it is DLSS performance. Okay, when I open the game, I see the performance I'm getting, and I guess, okay, that's native 4K. That's the performance I should be getting at native 4K. And I thought to myself, that's actually very demanding. So then when I go to the menu, I see that it is actually with upscaling already. So then I read that the developers actually said, yes, that's exactly what we did. We gave you the performance that you were supposed to get without upscaling with upscaling. So they are basically assuming, okay, because everyone is going to use upscaling, we are going to target that. And that is wrong. That's not the idea. That's not why you use upscaling. You want to have DLSS available to get a higher frame rate. You don't want to rely on, okay, because I have DLSS available, then I'm just going to push all this crap and give you less less performance. That is wrong. That's a bad idea. And it seems to me, and I'm not talking about, again, these developers, they did a great job. This is a good game. I like it. It is the entire industry. It seems like these companies are being paid by NVIDIA and AMD. Okay? Yeah, hey, try to make the game very, very demanding, so when people open the game, they believe, okay, I have to upgrade my GPU. Okay? It seems to me that's the case, because why would they make their game objectively worse? Like, I much rather have the graphics of Remnant from the Ashes, the first part, with DLSS, because that game doesn't have DLSS. Okay, so the performance that I'm getting on Remnant 1 is better than this. Okay, it's better than this without upscaling, without using DLSS. Okay, so now if they add DLSS, which is something very good, I love upscaling, I'm all for it. If they add upscaling to those visuals, now you can get, more, almost double the frame rate, and that is awesome. Give me that. I would be much, much happier playing that game that performs at 100, 120 frames per second very consistently without this crap. Okay, and you might say, oh no, I don't agree with you. I actually like to have a tree that is 20 miles away moving the leaves, and I actually do not like any popping, so I think that it is a good idea to use this nanite. And I have to say, I do not like popping either. And I think it is a very good idea to focus on this kind of technologies to eliminate popping completely, okay? So, but that's a cool technology. Let me turn it off, okay? Let me turn it off. And I've seen some Unreal Engine 5 demos and people that are developers explaining that No, actually, nanite can be less demanding than previous rendering methods, but that's not what I see on the games. When I play Fortnite, for example, if I turn off nanite, my frame rate goes through the roof. Okay, and there is no way I am going to use those Unreal Engine 5 features in Fortnite, because if I turn them off, the game performance goes through the roof in comparison. Okay, so if you want to have the game with those kinds of technologies, let me turn it on and off. That's okay. If you then the people who like to have the tree that's very far away moving all that stuff, they can enjoy that. Me personally, I'm never gonna use that crap. I want more performance. So all these developers needed to do, in my opinion, was to maybe improve a little bit the visuals, just add DLSS to the Remnant from the Ashes base game. That's it. I would enjoy the game so much more if they did that. But instead, they decided to push the fidelity. But does the game look good? You might think, oh no, but I disagree. I think that the game looks much better now and all of that. Okay, the game looks fantastic, right? Why are these leaves on the ground? Why are they shaking? And that has nothing to do with the resolution I'm using, nothing to do with the graphics settings. I've played with the graphics on ultra. It doesn't matter. These leaves on the ground, for some reason, they are floating in the air. This is, in my opinion, this is immersion breaking. Because I'm here like speaking with an NPC, and I'm like, why are the leaves in the ground? this is broken. Okay, this is broken. So these developers are concerned about a tree that's 20 miles away moving the leaves. Why is this happening? This is more important to take care of, to fix, than this crap that is very far away moving. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you lower the draw distance. I lowered the graphics to low, to minimum graphic settings, and I still have this crap on the trees moving, which is very nice. Okay, as an option, let me turn it off. Okay, and as a developer, you might tell me, oh no, that only improves the performance like in 3 frames per second. Okay, let me have those 3 frames per second more performance, because I don't care about these trees in the background moving. Okay, when I'm shooting my enemies at 5-10 meters away, I need more performance. So my conclusion is, Remnant from the Ashes, in my opinion, with DLSS would be a much better gaming experience than this kind of performance. It's that simple. Okay, and I don't care which system you have. It doesn't matter if you have a 4090 and the best CPU in the world. If you are getting right now with your 4090 100 frames per second at native 4K, which you probably are not, okay, but let's say you're getting 100 frames per second at native 4K with your 4090, you could be getting 200, okay, and that is the level of performance that you should be getting on a GPU like that. Okay, so this is bad for everybody. This is not okay. The direction that the industry is taking us is bad for gamers. It's that simple. We do not want to have, with each game that comes out, each new game that comes out, we do not want to have the feeling that now we need to upgrade the system. Because you upgrade and you still be disappointed. The performance of this game is not good enough. Now, is it consistent with what I see on the screen? Maybe, because I see all this crap. I see no popping, which is very nice. I see a lot of detail. Okay, the game has a lot of details. So I cannot say that I don't see on the screen why the performance is so bad. I do see it. I see that the game has more fidelity. And the DLSS on this game, it looks good, but I see a lot of trailing artifacts. So surrounding the character, I see a lot of trailing artifacts. Actually, I see so much noise here. These are like maybe disocclusion artifacts or trailing artifacts, in the arms. This remembers me to the soap opera effect artifacts that I get with my LG C1 when I use interpolation, when I use de-judder, de-blur settings, I get this kind of noises. Of course, the noise here is a lot less than with the TV settings, but this is the kind of noise that I get with my TV settings, okay? So that's not a deal breaker. The DLSS actually looks good, and I have to say that DLSS performance, coming from such a low resolution to 4K, it actually looks okay. It looks okay. But this is not what I would like. This is not what I would expect. I would expect to get this performance without DLSS, to then go ahead and use DLSS and get all this, so sacrifice and get all this crap, but now get 30%, 40% more performance. Okay, that's what I would expect, and that's not what we're getting. So bad idea. I'm sorry. These developers, I want to praise them because they are making a game that I really like, and I want to encourage them to keep making this kind of games, and they are just using the tools that they have available. But I do have to criticize their decision, and their decision is bad. It's wrong, in my opinion. This is not what gamers, this is not what is the best for gamers. Okay, it is not. This is the best for Nvidia, so you feel like you need to buy another GPU. Okay, this is not the best for gamers. I completely disagree with what they did here, and yeah, and I definitely don't like this leaves in the ground like moving for absolutely no reason. Like there's no wind here. Like this just looks like a bug. It just looks terrible, terrible. So I don't like it. I don't like the game in terms of the performance. Now, is there a way I can tolerate? I can make it work for me? Is there any way I can play this game? Yeah, I can lock the frame rate to 60 frames per second and hope that the frame rate doesn't drop. But right now, look. Right now it is dropping 59 frames per second. GPU utilization 99. So I will need to go to settings and look at this. Look at this. DLSS performance. That's 1080p. That's upscaling from 1080p. And I cannot have high settings. On a 3080, 12 gigabytes. I forgot to mention that. I mean, if you've been following the channel, you know I have a 3080, 12 gigabytes, and a 5800 X3D. Look at this. I have to lower the graphics to get a 1080p upscale to 4K. Let's lower to medium and see how much it improves. Just a little bit. The GPU utilization is at 96%. This is gonna drop. Somewhere else is gonna be more demanding, and it is going to drop. So I might have to play this game with low settings, with drops in some places, basically upscaling from 1080p. Is that a better experience than Remnant 1? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can play Remnant 1 with a much better performance, and it doesn't even support DLSS. If they just add DLSS to Remnant 1, it would be a much better, miles away experience in terms of this, in comparison with this one. And I couldn't care less about these trees moving 10 miles away. So yeah, that's my opinion. I have to make this video because what I see on the internet is most people, yeah, there are some people that complain about the performance, but most people are happy to see these developers pushing the graphics. Okay, and I'm okay with that. You can add ray tracing. Awesome. It looks fantastic. Let me turn it off. Okay, if you let me turn it off, I'm okay with that because I'm just not gonna use it. Okay? But if you don't let me turn off all this crap, and there's no way I can get the performance I need. Let me lower the graphics to low. Okay? Let's take a look at this. I'm gonna lower this to low. Low settings. Let's take a look at the performance. My GPU is at 75%. 75% to get 60 frames per second. 1080p, low settings. My 3080, 77% to get 60 frames per second. in a more demanding part of the game, this might even drop below 60. That's unacceptable, man. That's not enough. That's not enough. That's not a good performance. Okay. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Maybe you are one of those that you believe that, yeah, quality of the pixels. Yeah, I want more features, and you believe that a 30 frames per second mode is actually a fidelity mode. If you believe that, I mean, more power to you. Enjoy, because that's what they're giving you. That's what they're giving us. So if you enjoy that, if you really agree with that, you are in heaven, because that's what they're giving us. They are giving us barely the ability to get 60 frames per second. That's another thing before I finish this video. The only reason why I have to play this game at 60 is because I have no other choice, okay? But 60 frames per second is the bare minimum. And the only reason why I can tolerate 60 frames per second is because on this LG C1, I have this OLED Motion Pro feature that improves the motion clarity. So this game at 60 frames per second, because of this OLED Motion Pro High on my LG C1, it looks like 158 frames per second. Okay, so when I move the camera, this looks very good. Not very good, it looks okay. So that's the only reason why 60 is tolerable for me. But 60 is just a bare minimum. They should be targeting 120. Most TVs we have right now on the market are 120 hertz, okay? And monitors, 120 is like very, like bare minimum. So that should be the bare minimum target that they are aiming for. They should not be targeting 60 frames per second with DLSS performance. That's nonsense. Okay, if I make a game right now, if I am a developer, which I'm not, my game has to target 120 frames per second. I would say on a 3060. You might say, but how are you gonna get that performance? Just eliminate all that crap. Improve the art style of the game, make it look cartoonish. I don't care. It needs to perform much better than this crap. It is just bad. It's just bad, in my opinion. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.